How's it hanging, fellas? I'm OrosZ and this is another episode of Terraria, and in today's episode I think I'm going back to the dungeon, because last episode, if you haven't seen it, which I just finished recording that one, I fell on a bunch of spikes. I opened the chest because I didn't even notice that I fell on a bunch of spikes, and I was just standing there and I died. But maybe not. Maybe my memory's false and I'm going to a completely different dungeon. I found this glowing blue ball last episode. It's a weapon that pretty much carries me through the whole game. Not the whole game again, it carries me through the most of the game. It's a really good weapon. Oh shit. So, last episode I found this tweet, which your birth month was this PlayStation 3 game. Which PS3 game did you get? And instead of telling you which one I got Ratchet and Clank Time. I was talking about that game. And I was just talking about each game of the list and my memories of those games and something related to those games. Next game on was July was Final Fantasy 13. I don't really have many Final Fantasy stories. I'll be honest with you. My first Final Fantasy game I played, my first Final Fantasy game that I actively played, I was just like, I give it a go, and I was like, what the fuck is this turn-based bullshit? And I turned it off, because I really hated turn-based games and JRPGs as a kid. I was like, what the fuck is with this combat system? Why am I so slow? Why can't I just attack them? I hated them, and never gave him a fair shot, which was kind of lame, because now I like JRPGs, I really do. The one I'm looking forward to right now is the Fairy Tail one. It looks alright, it looks decent, I guess. I'll be honest with you, it looks kinda shit, but it could be good, and maybe just the graphics are looking shit. No, I'm not even that big of a Fairy Tail fan. I watched the fucking entire anime, but it pissed me off more often than it made me like, hell yeah! More characters were annoying than fucking cool. Yeah, I don't know why the fuck I actually watched all of it. So, 13, I heard it's like the worst. The 13 series, I heard like, oh, 13-2 is like even worse than the second one, but 13-3 is pretty good. But I heard like overall they're all kinda shit. So, I don't know if I know one thing for sure about 13, I really dig the character designs. But I usually dig character designs in Final Fantasy games. Final Fantasy 12 had really cool designs. 7 obviously, 8 with fucking Squall's outfits, fucking awesome. And my first Final Fantasy game that I've beaten was Final Fantasy 15. Look, I found a tent and destroyed it by accident. I thought maybe someone was in it and I just fucking destroyed it. And I beaten that one. I remember my mom used to just come over and watch me play it because she liked the views of like when I was just driving the car around. She just like liked the area that I was like driving around in. I remember at the time I thought like, okay, if I'm gonna be playing games all day, I might as well work out. So I was on like a treadmill and I was playing games while like riding a treadmill. Not a treadmill, it was like a stationary bike, that's what I meant. Not a treadmill. And I think I just got annoyed because I was like pedaling the bike and I was just fucking, I don't know, like I had to hold on to the fucking handles in the front because when I was just playing the game I couldn't synchronize me like thinking about what I'm doing in the game and also fucking pedaling the bike. So I was just doing those two things separately. I remember when I was watching E3 2012, I was also like working out at the time. I don't know why, I just have a memory. It's like I was working out, like actively working out while I was watching E3. I was just like riding that fucking stationary bike. I don't even have that stationary bike anymore. Not like a walk-in thing. I got fucking hit on the head with a boulder. If I didn't expand my health 2 episodes ago by cheating, I'd probably be dead. Fucking cobwebs, can't grab onto them. When I was looking through screenshots, I found this like funny meme, none of memes are funny, they're all shit. I found this like art of like some of the characters in Terraria making fun of you for playing on journey mode, and I thought that was perfect when I would post on Twitter that I'm doing the Terraria Let's Play. I was like looking for an hour for that picture and I couldn't find it again. And so that sucked. Because like every time I post the new Let's Play, I'll attach some funny picture to it, right? Just so it wouldn't be just text, right? Get it? I don't know. That's what I do. Whatever. Don't tell me how to run my channel. And later, I think the second Final Fantasy I beaten was 12. Someone had the Zodiac edition of the game, which is like a remaster, and I beaten that one. Overall, the game was pretty good, pretty challenging. It wasn't like completely easy. It was pretty challenging. There were a couple of challenging bosses, but I never fucking ran into like a boss that was like super annoying. The final boss was annoying, but it was mostly because I ignored the warning about stocking up on items beforehand. And I was like, nah, I'm fine. And I just went there and I got my ass kicked, and I only beaten it by like pure luck. Final Fantasy X I played, but I never got it. I beaten it. I still have the save file, and I probably should... If I'm gonna play through it again, I probably had to do it from the beginning. I don't remember how to play it, because it was a while ago now. But I still have my save file. And I got to fight with Seymour, I think that was his name. Like later in the game in the mountains, when he kills all those other like Yeti guys. I don't remember what their name was. Well, that species, but he kills them and he shows up later and he just like does attacks in a row and he just obliterates my party without even giving me a chance. It's ridiculous, and I just got pissed off and I quit it and I never came back. But that's another game on my Let's Play list. Final Fantasy 12 also is on my list, so... Final Fantasy 7, the original one I played, but I never beaten, and never even got that far in it. Final Fantasy 7 Remake I actually beaten recently, but part 1 of course. Not like I'm from the future or anything. And I like that one. There were 3 really annoying fights in the game. The house and the Colosseum. Actually, maybe only 2. I remember another one, but I can't recall which one was it now. The final one was fine. I beaten it first try. I was playing on normal too, so maybe I should play on hard. I don't know. Maybe the game's too easy on normal. Whatever. I've always played on normal. I don't give a shit. And the most annoying one was at the end of the game when like everyone has to go through their own final boss. Barret and Aerith go through this like big robot on like yeah, I blew up. Nice. I did not saw that coming. And it's so annoying, that fight, because the robot that you fight is pretty much resistant to your attacks most of the time. So you're like shooting it, and keep shooting it, and it just like doesn't give a shit about it, and you just kind of fucking stand, like you have to fucking avoid his attacks most of the time, and it's like only a few moments where you can actually deal something. I end up at the end of that fight just throwing... Throughout the game I was collecting like throwable weapons like grenades, molotovs, and I never bothered to use them. Until that fight. I threw every projectile, every throwable weapon I had in my equipment at that robot just to deal some damage because he was like weak to explosive attacks. So I had to use the arm cannon that Barret had. I think I was using Big Bear Tug and she hit like... That cannon hit like way more damage. Final Fantasy 9 I played but I never beaten. What I really don't like is this active thing. Like, I like how Final Fantasy X is turn-based, so you can think about what you're about to do. But like Final Fantasy 7 and 8 and 9, you have to like do it really quickly, so you can't really like think through carefully what you're gonna do next or whatever. And it's just like, ah, fucking, like, that pisses me off about these older Final Fantasy games. 8, I really like it, might be my favorite one, but again, I don't really... Like, I never beaten it too, but I just remember that was like the first one I might have played, and I just remember the characters were like so cool in my opinion that I wish I could play the game better, but I never did, and I was like, oh man, it sucks. Final Fantasy... Well, I played some other ones, but I don't remember them that well. I played one of those crossover ones. It's like a hack and slash. I remember when I was a kid and I came over to my older friend's house and he was playing Kingdom Hearts and he was fighting Sephiroth, I think. Because I remember Sephiroth. And I was sitting there watching and I thought that was Final Fantasy. And I was like, man, this Final Fantasy is pretty cool actually. It's like a hack and slash, but that was Kingdom Hearts. Well, my experience with Kingdom Hearts is that I hate Kingdom Hearts. I find the gameplay to be fucking boring. Just fucking mashing buttons all the time. It's not even like I do combos. I just fucking mash like the same button over and over, and I'm doing some weird shit. And I'm like, okay, I guess I'm doing fine. I hate the story. I kind of hate this whole idea of this Disney Final Fantasy crossover. Just like so fucking jarring to me. That Daffy Duck is like walking around in this fantasy-looking outfit, talking to Final Fantasy characters, and then I was disappointed that Kingdom Hearts 3 didn't fucking have Final Fantasy characters. Because I didn't came for Disney. I'm not a huge fucking Disney fan. I was more of a Warner Brothers fan growing up, like Looney Tunes and all that shit. Hanna-Barbera, I think. I don't think they were Warner Brothers, or maybe they were. I don't know. I think they were like its own separate thing. And I never played any like other ones. I played first on PS2, didn't like it, and I beaten 3. No, I also didn't like it, to be honest. I like the worlds, I guess. They look kinda cool. There was this weird fucking thing where in the middle of the game you play like a completely different game. You play like some kind of robot fucking defense force. Like you fucking pilot like a mech, and it's called like something Rex. And I feel like, is it like an advertisement for like some new Final Fantasy game? Is it like an Easter egg? Like are they like making fun of Final Fantasy? I don't know. I don't like Kingdom Hearts. And I guess there's a Chrono Trigger, which is kind of similar. So with Chrono Trigger I played it, but I played it on an emulator on my phone. I got like, I don't know, a couple of hours into the game and I really liked it, but I don't know, I didn't play it that much. I don't like playing on emulators, it just doesn't feel genuine to me like I'm playing a game. I just feel like on an emulator I can just like check out a game. Like I don't know, I hear about a weird obscure game on NES and I'm like, I'm gonna check it out. I like playing an NES game when it's like a bundle. Because I don't have an NES, I never did. Maybe if I would like be rich and I would just be collecting games and shit, I would get an NES, but at the moment I like when they're in like bundles and like modern consoles, like Mega Man Legacy Collection is. There's also the Disney Afternoon Collection, and it has some Disney NES games, which is pretty cool. The good ones, not like the shitty ones. And I guess there's also Dragon Quest, which is similar to Final Fantasy, because the creators of Final Fantasy they were Squaresoft, right? Yeah, Squaresoft. And then Dragon Quest creators were Enix, and then they combined the Square Enix. Because I think they were both kind of doing badly at the time, so they were like, oh, we're gonna combine our forces or something like that. So, Dragon Quest, I never played the old Dragon Quest games. Only Dragon Quest game I played was 11. And the story with 11, I really liked that game. I thought it was exactly the kind of JRPG I was looking for. You know, you have turn-based battles, you can think your fights through, you have like weaknesses to enemies so you can exploit them, you have like different weapons you collect through the world, a bunch of side quests like the world and shit like that. It was great. I really liked it. I even liked the art style of it being kind of like cartoony and stuff. Looked like an old anime from fucking like the, what was it called? The one with like a big cat or something. I don't remember. And 11, and what happened at the end of the game, I once again, this is like the third JRPG that I did that in. I should fucking stop doing that, I really should. Where I did not care about that the game was about to end and I didn't stock up on items. So I went to the final boss. I think I spent like 2 days of couple of hours of me sitting down, cause like, you know, like in the evening when I don't have anything to do, I would sit down and play video games. I spent like 2 days of that. like a couple of hours play sessions of me playing that fucking game, finding the final boss, and I got so mad that I was like, you know what, fuck it. I got to the final boss, that's good enough, right? And then I was talking to the friend who I borrowed the game from. There's a gameplay in such of me playing the beginning of the game, so you can check it out if you want. And he told me like, oh, you didn't beat the skeleton, but there's like stuff still happening after that, and I was like, that was supposed to be the final boss. Apparently there's like an epilogue after that, and you have like still kind of bits of story and shit. I remember Serena was cute. She was cool. What else? Nothing really. Next game on this list is Infamous, which I always pronounce that infamous, but it's infamous. Also, here's a boss building the house. He was the one who was building houses because he watched a tutorial and knew how to do it, and I was too lazy to do that. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna explore, just so my episodes are more exciting than you just building a house the whole time. So I was, you know, exploring caves, having fun, and he was building houses like a slave. Infamous, it's pretty much, I guess I was checking out OBS, it isn't fucking bailed on me. Infamous is kinda like greedier, Sly Cooper from what I know. And, I'm not a fan of it. I was reading that list in one of the Half-Life episodes. And one of the earliest games I got on PS Plus on PS4, and one of the, I think it's the second game on my list of Let's Plays to do, is Infamous Second Son. I never even played that game. I downloaded it, I added it to my library, but I never played it. I didn't care. And yeah, I guess I will have to do it at some point. Sucker Punch recently released Ghost of Tsushima. I heard mixed opinions. I think the game looks great. I think it's totally a game I would totally fucking enjoy. But some people call it boring, clunky, and uninspired. I think it looks fucking great. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. But yeah, I guess I'll have to play it to properly judge it first, right? And they also made Infamous Second Son and Infamous Sly Cooper. I don't think, no, they didn't make Killzone, that was Riot Games? No, not Riot. The guys who made Horizon. Guerrilla Games, that was them. And only fucking like time I had anything to do with Infamous and like Cole McGrath was the time I played as him in PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. Which there were rumors of PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale 2 for the PS5. What the fuck happened to those? If Kiryu Kazuma, you know, from Yakuza is gonna end up in a fighting game, it could have been that. I mean, Yakuza is PlayStation exclusive. They could still put like Final Fantasy characters in, you know, like the Final Fantasy character in Smash Brothers is Cloud, but they could still like put Squall, they could put Tidus, they could put Noctis in it, I guess. Some other fucking assholes that I don't remember their names. They could put Kiryu in it, and Majima, maybe, some other fucking, maybe the Judgment guy, I don't remember his name, but Kratos, of course. Maybe they could like have two iterations of Kratos, the Viking Kratos with an axe, and the old Kratos with double blades. Right? It's like a lot of shit you could do, except you had to somehow make the gameplay. I mean, the gameplay was fun in that game, but the goal, how you knocked out characters, was kind of shit. I think the game would be better off just straight up ripping off Smash Brothers with that mechanic of you building up the percentage bar, instead of going for this whole collecting points to like build up your specials and then using specials to knock out enemies. And also the specials were really unbalanced. Kratos was like the OP character, they were really unbalanced in that game. Sackboy was like really fucking stupid, his attacks were so fucking annoying to do. And his specials were shit. They could be like cancelled. Like his third, I think his second level special could be like completely cancelled if he got hit. While Kratos' even first level special was like the best because he just fucking boosted forward and whoever stood in his path died. And and that was like the easiest to do. Just fucking had to like wait for someone to be landing, and like from a jump, and then you just activate it and you fucking hit them and they're dead. Oh, and they had evil call and good call, which I get it. But couldn't they just have like middle ground call instead? And I also complained how there's no Crash Bandicoot in the game. Or Spyro, which I never knew really why the fuck they didn't get those. Like, it's not like they were in Smash Brothers or anything. So yeah, where the fuck is my PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale 2 news? Excuse me, I've heard nothing in recent days. Last time I heard about it was probably over a year ago, so who knows, maybe it was all a rumor, maybe it was all untrue, maybe they will not risk it with a fighting game like that again. That's literally all I have to say about Infamous. Ni no Kuni, I never played the first Ni no Kuni, I played Ni no Kuni 2, and I remember there's also a gameplay and such on that game. And that game was fucking great, it was like a hack and slash JRPG, I fucking loved it. Reminded me of YS, Tales of Silsera, which is also a great game I played. And I love the fucking art style. I remember the plot was so funny that it starts in like modern day, you play as the president of the United States and he gets transported into the past. And he just like runs around with a sword and a gun. Like he's the only one who has a gun in this fucking fantasy setting. I thought that was pretty funny. It was really fun, it was great, I loved it. Some of the side quests, I always find it in JRPG side quests are shit most of the time. They're so boring most of the time, it's just like, go collect stuff, go to this place, kill an enemy, go back. It's never like its own story, unless I'm not aware of some franchise that does side quests, of some JRPG franchise that does side quests interestingly. Because from my experience, they're all kind of boring and shit. But maybe it's just my awful experience with the side quests. Like Final Fantasy 15 side quests are fucking boring as fuck. Final Fantasy 7, the remake side quests were kind of boring too. They were not that bad, but they were mostly just like the same shit. And some of them were really annoying, like that fucking news girl who was like lying to everyone. She was a fucking bitch. She was supposed to be so cute, but she was just such a bitch. And yeah, Ni no Kuni too, I really liked it. I remember the ending was weird where when the president came back to his own times and everyone was sad about that, and the game ended with like some kind of like an explosion, like a city exploding. No, the game began with like an explosion, like the president was going to a city and the city blew up and like the president like died or something, and then he was transported into this world, which I guess could imply that this whole game it just takes place in his fucking dream. Is the President of the United States dead all along theory? Yes, of course, obviously. Yeah, I'd never played the first game. I think it was referenced a couple of times in that game, like the first game. They said something like, oh, that fucking time that guy did something. I was like, I guess that must have been the first game that I never played. Ratchet and Clank, I was talking about that game last episode. Little Big Planet 1. That was the first game I played on PS3, because I got it in the bundle. And I played the shit out of it. I beaten that game, and only remember the final level where you could like jump on like really thin sticks, and it was really hard to do. But it was pretty cool. And I remember a level where there's like a Zeus family, and the mother asks you like, "Oh, my baby, he's missing. Help me!" And you go to like later in the level. I think you go to the left side of the screen. It might have possibly been something you could miss. I don't remember. But you go to the left side of the screen, I remember, and you find the Zeus in a Zeus strip club. And as a kid I was like, what the fuck, a strip club in a friendly kids platformer game like that? I don't know how I knew there was a strip club, but I did smell something weird about when I noticed that fucking there's like Zeus jumping up and down on like poles, and he's sitting and he says like a private dance. And he says like, yeah, I'll be home soon. So that's like a memory that sticks out in Little Planet 1. I played so much online levels. They were so fucking fun. That was like the only time I actually made like online friends, because I was playing with like random people. Some other random kids playing Little Big Planet. And I was just talking with them on a microphone that was like attached to my controller, I guess. Must have been somewhere there. I might have got a headset with a microphone. I don't remember how I communicated, but I did. And my throat because the really talking so much. And yeah, I made friends with like people. I almost had a fucking girlfriend in Little Big Planet, but then I was like, fuck you. She was like, you wanna be my boyfriend? And I was like, fuck you. What the fuck? No. Cause I ain't no simp. I'm an incel. No, I'm not, but... Like, why the fuck would I even assume... Like, I don't know if they're even a girl, I don't fucking know. Why the fuck would I have date someone I met in Little Big Planet? It's ridiculous. I remember their nickname was Honey. Which I thought was weird, right? Actually, now that I still remember their nickname, maybe I'll check out. I'll be like, hey, remember me? Yeah, I threw you over a platform, helped you out. I think that's the reason why they were like nice to me, because I was like helping them out with like a platforming section. It was like one account, but two people were playing on it, because there was like Honey 1 and Honey 2, or something like that. I don't remember. It was weird. And I made some more friends. And I remember one story when we were playing this. Remember how in Assassin's Creed there was a multiplayer mode, and there was this multiplayer mode where you would pretend to be pedestrians and other people would have to kill you, but first they would have to like, you know, guess that this pedestrian acts strange, so that's probably a player and they would have to kill you. Someone recreated that in Little Big Planet. I was playing that, and one time I was eating pudding with one hand and I was playing that with the other hand, and I like beaten everyone in the game, and I made fun of them that I beaten you guys while eating pudding. That was fun. It's fun, a lot of fun memories. Little Planet 2 is pretty much the same, it's just better. Better graphics, better levels, better story, better building your own levels options, and pretty much most of the people I met did eventually bought Little Big Planet 2, so we're playing Little Big Planet 2 together too. 222, and GTA 4 also had a multiplayer mode that I played a lot. And one of the people that I met in Little Big Planet also had GTA 4, so we were playing that game and we were like messing around, doing a bunch of shit. And I remember one time, that guy that I was playing a lot, there was this one guy that I was talking with and I was playing with him. And like, he started to just become fucking annoying. Like, I was just like playing Uncharted or something, and he was like, you're gonna play GTA 4? Wanna play Little Planet? And I was like, oh, I'm playing Uncharted. And at some point I wasn't, like, I was just playing some other single player games and I wasn't playing stuff with him. And he just got like really mad at me and I was like, oh, what the fuck? And then one time I was playing Little Big Planet, and I was just playing with someone else, one of the other friends. And he joined in and he was like mad at me and he was like, oh, why the fuck you're not playing games with me? And the funny thing, I had to leave because I think I was going to the doctor at the time. And I was like, you know what, I have to leave. And he was like, yeah, leave, whatever. And later he like messaged me and he was like, I'm sorry for being annoying, I'm sorry, let's be friends again. And I was like, you know what, fuck you. I fucking didn't even answer, I just deleted him from friends, and I never made online friends ever again because I was like, you know what, I don't want to fucking do that shit. I'd rather have real friends. That kinda don't fucking annoy me. And bother and fucking make me play games that I don't want to fucking play. I'm doing that myself already. I mean, I'm not even playing this, I'm just talking about my fucking histories and shit. I was gonna mention another story in the last episode where I forgot about Uncharted 3. I love Uncharted 3. People say it's the weakest. Uncharted 1 is the weakest. I don't know what the fuck you're all talking about. Just because Uncharted 1 started this great franchise doesn't mean it's all that great. I mean, it's great, but it's good, it's not great. Characters are not as well defined, they're more like... Nate is just kind of like an Indiana Jones ripoff. Sally is just like the same, but he's just more old-fashioned, where he does he's keep talking about all the women he fucking fucked and how much of a fucking heartbreaker he was at Nate's age or something like that. And don't get me wrong, I fucking loved Sally for that, but like he definitely progressed to be more of a mentor instead of just being this like kind of almost like just some friend, but way older than Nate. Like this kind of asshole old man who's just old-fashioned and, you know, stuff like that. And there was a multiplayer mode that I was so fucking disappointed Uncharted 3 on Nathan Drake Collection doesn't have. I'm not talking about like multiplayer where it's like online matchmaking and shit, which is also fun, which was also great. Actually, I remember that my Uncharted 3 copy was a used copy, and that code on the back that you had to use to sign into multiplayer, which is bullshit, was already used, so I never got to play matchmaking with other people in Uncharted 3. But Uncharted 4 I did, and it was fun. It was a lot of fun. But Uncharted 3 had a local multiplayer mode, with its own separate stories. And those stories were really fun because they were like non-canonical, so they could do whatever the fuck. So it was like, oh, Lazarevich from Uncharted 2 comes back, and now he's working with Harry and Eddie, who are also dead. And Nate's like, oh, aren't those guys dead? And you have to fight them. And it's like so much fucking fun. And everything's like way fucking harder than in the normal game. Every enemy takes way more shots. There are different kinds of enemies. There are enemies that grab you from behind, so your friend has to save you. There are like heavy gunners that take so much fucking damage that it's just it's just fucking crazy. There are like snipers that will snipe you out. I remember that I called the guys who like grabbed you from behind and choked you to death, I called them rapists. That's what came to my mind, that he's raping me while I was fucking playing the game. And the guys who were like taking so many hits that we called them robots. We were like, damn, what the fuck is you, Robocop? And not just Robocop. And yeah, and I really liked that fucking mode. And I was disappointed that the Nathan Drake collection doesn't have that. Me and my friend, with Uncharted 2, my friend used to come over and constantly play through the train level. He liked it so fucking much. But I was like a friend I actually like. I'm still friends with him. Still hang out. But yeah, I don't think my online relationships ended that well. It was just this one guy. Everyone else just kind of didn't really care that I just stopped playing with them. I don't know, I guess they didn't really fucking like me all that much. It was just this one guy that was like so obsessed with like playing games with me specifically. I was like, you know what? Screw it. I don't care. I might make him sad, but who cares if I'll never speak to him again? Look, I got the goodly mace. Godly, sorry, not goodly, godly. That's the mace I had before, this one I had now. It's not a mace, that's a morning star. A mace is something that doesn't spin. It's not a mace. It's fucking dumbass. What dumbasses made this game? Stupid. Yeah, so those are my Uncharted related stories. Uncharted 4, I guess. I don't know, it doesn't hold as many fucking fond memories. So what's the other game? The Last of Us? Everybody talks about The Last of Us like it's this groundbreaking masterpiece of a game. I never gave a shit about it. I knew it was coming. I knew it was from the people who made Uncharted. But I was like, zombie survival? Not really into that all that much, to be honest. Even though you could call this game zombie survival, because it's like, there's zombies, you have to survive. I'd call this game a sandbox game. A sandbox RPG, maybe kind of a little bit survival game. It's definitely more of a sandbox first, and all of those other things next. Because if you want, you don't even have to fucking complete any goals, you could just simply rearrange the whole world and that'll be it. And yeah, and The Last of Us, I don't care about The Last of Us, to be honest. I only follow The Last of Us 2 because of how many controversies it was running into, how Naughty Dog was like crunching its developers. its employees, they weren't paying them enough and shit. How Neil Druckmann like thinks of himself as this fucking high and mighty. Fucking world of video games changing, but not really, because no one gives a shit. How the game is all like, oh man, all your choices matter. You don't need to kill, like, don't kill people. It's bad. But then it's like, but then why the fuck they made the killing people so fun? Because it looks fucking awesome. Still haven't played it though. Still haven't played Ghost of Tsushima. The only recent game I played was Final Fantasy VII. Yeah, I don't really care. Legs on the table, shit. It's not comfy this way. My chair that I have, it's not like a gaming chair. It's like an old fucking chair I think I had since I was in elementary. I had this chair for the longest fucking time. But the thing is, my desk is so small, a gaming chair wouldn't even fucking fit underneath. So it would always have to be out. And then I couldn't walk through my room, because my room is not fucking big. With my bed, it's like right fucking next to me right now. Pretty much everything is just around me. I don't fucking have space to put like an enormous fucking gaming chair. Maybe if I'll have my own house, and who knows, maybe I'll successful Let's Player, success story. Who the fuck knows, my life will turn around, I'll make this for a living. Then I'll get myself a room with enough space to have a gaming chair in it. For now, yeah, for now I don't give a fucking shit. See, I had so many cool things to talk about for all these episodes because I was, you know, hit these games to talk about, and I ran out of fucking things to say. Apparently, I've seen Jesus, I think. It's the guy who like does boundary break. He was boundary breaking Detroit Become Human. He found out that the girl in the main menu has like a really fucking detailed outfit. I wouldn't be surprised if it turns out that girl is actually naked underneath and David Cage had her modeled naked too. I remember at the end of the game when she asked you like, can I leave too, or do you want me to stay here? And I was like, well, the whole game is about freeing androids and I'm never gonna play the game ever again, so fuck it, go away. Actually, that's not true because I also want to make a Let's Play out of that. That game I'm not really that huge of a fan, but it seems like one of those games that's like nice to do a Let's Play of. It's like, you know, it's separated into like chapters, like specific moments where I could end the episodes. I wouldn't have to play it all that much. I would pretty much just watch cutscenes most of the time. I would have things to talk about. I could talk about the story and how I don't like it at all. It's not like I hate it, but I feel like the whole game should have been about the detective android and them getting along. Because Marcus's story feels like that should have been like for example, an intermission. Meanwhile, on the other side of the city, this android who was once this guy is plotting to start a revolution. The little girl's story was like completely not related to anyone else's story, and she just like wanted to get out of this town so she could like live legally in Canada. Because I think they made like in Canada, androids are like have human rights, so they could just live their own life. I really like Luther and her story. I thought they would make like a funny couple. She was like the one in charge, and Luther was just like the muscle. Kind of reminded me of that guy from that movie where it's just like prison. There's like this big guy, and he like cries. Like everyone thinks he's like this tough motherfucker, but then he's like really emotional and shit. I don't remember, man. Yeah, see, I had such a good topic to talk about PS3 games. I spent like 2 episodes talking about them, and now I don't know what the fuck to talk about, and there's still the 3rd episode. I need to find another what. Oh, there you go. Someone is posting a video. That's Ned Luke, that's the voice actor of Michael from GTA 5. posted a video of him playing Grand Theft Auto 3 on PS3. I never played Grand Theft Auto 3 on PS2. No wait, Grand Theft Auto 3 on PS2. I never played Grand Theft Auto 3 on PS2. I got the 2 and 3 confused. But I did, as a kid, I played a lot of Grand Theft Auto 3 on PC. My dad played that game a lot. And he played that game a lot, but whenever I played it, I would just drive around. I wouldn't like attack. Oh wait, what's going on? A Goblin army's attacking. We didn't summon that, it just happened on its own. They're not really tough, especially with me and that fucking ball. I'm just pretty much invincible. But when I was doing the Let's Play of GTA 3, I done a Let's Play of GTA 3, yes. Oh, that was a while ago. But it's still about the same as... Actually, no, this gameplay is a little shittier looking because it's laggy. So yeah, I would say GTA 3 Let's Play is actually better than this, and because I was even playing the game as I was talking, and it beat me the whole game and everything. I even done like some things like the taxi missions, which I would normally never give a shit to do, just to unlock this fancy red taxi for no reason. It's not really all that useful, but whatever. I really like those random events in this game, like the Blood Moon, the Goblin Army, there's a pirate attack later in the game, the Frost Moon, with like Christmas themed enemies, there's a Pumpkin Moon, like Halloween themed enemies, there's a something else moon, there's an alien invasion, there's a eclipse, like spooky horror themed. It's funny, like the Halloween themed ones, they have like pumpkin monsters, headless horsemen, but then the eclipse has like murderers, like horror characters going around, like Pinhead, Jason, Leatherface, that girl from Exorcist, shit like that. I think I talked a lot about GTA 3 over the years. And yeah, I love GTA 3. Maybe next episode I'll talk about games that my dad played. And when I was so little that I couldn't even comprehend so many controls that had to be done to control these games, because I was playing like simple platformer game that crashed too. So now you all have to run, jump, and attack and shit like that. Look how much money they dropped. That's a lot of money, man. That's a lot of money. Yeah, and I haven't played Vice City until like really later. Funny story, I was playing Vice City Stories as a kid, and I thought that was Vice City. I didn't know there's another Vice City. I thought there was only one. So I was playing Vice City Stories, and I thought Vic Vance, the main character of Vice City Stories, was also CJ, because they looked the same. And I never listened to the cutscenes, I was just skipping them. So I never realized that this guy's not even CJ. I thought it was like a continuation. I thought it was like a prequel to San Andreas. Which I find funny that at the time I knew what a prequel was, and I understood that this story didn't necessarily have to take place after San Andreas, which I never beaten as a kid. I got like to the Mad Dog Mansion mission and I never beaten it, that one where you like sneak around and assassinate people in Mad Dog's mansion. I thought that was hard. I could never do that. So yeah, I don't know. Episode's running out of time. I'm gonna have to stop very soon. Been sitting here for what? Well, not really 2 hours yet, but almost. I still have one more episode to go, so I'm definitely going by the end sitting here for 2 hours. Just non-stop talking about video games. Man, the timer is like, the bar at the bottom just completely filled and I'm not even sure how much time I can left. 20-30 seconds. So you know what, see you fellas in the next episode, bye.